It begins in the mountains, a long line of riders easing out into the morning sun, the hum of ties on trail, and the distant scent of the sea 3 days away. 21 years ago, the idea was simple. A handful of riders, a farm school in need, and a vision to build something with more meaning than medals. What would follow was a ride that would change lives, not only of those who rode it, but of the thousands who would come to live it. In 2015, the ride found a new kind of companion. KAP didn't just arrive with banners or branding, they arrived with trucks, with people, with purpose. They came in to help build, piece by piece, from the ground up. They didn't just back the ride, they became part of its fabric. PG Bison helped to build the bridges, literally. Unitrons moved everything the event needed and stamped their name on the toughest climb of the race. Restonic gave riders a place to recover. Safripol turned waste into something useful, and Optics kept everyone connected, in real time. Each one played their part, quietly, practically, and purposefully. But no structure stands without its people, and that's where the magic of the KAP sani2c truly lives. In the hands that shape the trail, in the stories carried from fence post to finish line, in communities who don't just host the race, they breathe life into it. Today, more than 10 million rand a year flows back into these communities through the sani2c Community Development Trust. That's meals in schools, jobs with dignity, futures with footing. And still, it would all be just potential if it weren't for the riders. Because without the riders, there's no purpose to the bridge, no audience for the journey, no heartbeat behind the build. Every tire track is a thread, every climb a contribution. Every rider who signs up becomes part of this greater ecosystem, a living, breathing, evolving ride that stretches far beyond the trail. This is the unseen contract. Riders give their legs and their hearts. KAP gives the infrastructure and belief, and together they sustain the story. This year, we asked someone who knows the story from all sides to take us deeper. Ollie Munich has ridden the sani2c as a competitor, been behind the scenes as a broadcaster and a storyteller. But this time, he slowed right down. He's going to stop where others race past to show us what lies beneath the ride.
The 21st edition of the KAP sani2c is about to get underway with a spectacular morning in Glen Ken. I'm Ollie Munich and welcome to the 2025 KAP sani2c. It's going to be an amazing journey down to Scottsboro, and we're going to be bringing you beyond the bike.
Every rider begins the sani2c with that same feeling, a blend of nerves and wonder as the trail leaves Glen Ken Farm and winds its way into the foothills. The air is still fresh, the legs are too, and the day is full of promise. Rolling into the farmlands and gum tree stands, we begin to thread our way into the first movement of this 3-day journey. A journey shaped by not just terrain, but by the stories that wait along the way. One of those first lies just ahead.
The PG Bison floating bridge, the first of its kind in South African mountain biking, designed and built by Farmer Glenn himself way back in the first edition of the KAP sani2c. As you can see, lots of riders enjoying the curves and flow of this brilliant experience and first real masterpiece of stage 1 of the KAP sani2c.
From the floating bridge, the route flows into open country, a ribbon of trail that dances between farm fences and long valley lines. You pass through timberlands and pockets of pine, through sections of hand-shaped trail where community teams have built, repaired and refined the path for over 2 decades. And then, almost without warning, you arrive at Waterpoint 1, run by Pevensey Place. A home for differently abled people, Pevensey is one of the most meaningful stops on the route. The welcome is warm and the spirit is unmistakable. Supported through the sani2c Community Development Trust, Pevensey has been a cornerstone of this journey, not just as a water point, but as a reminder of what this race represents. Here, the riding may pause, but the purpose deepens. With legs refueled and hearts lifted, the route begins to climb. Gently at first, before folding into one of the most unforgettable sections of the day, Ngumeni Forest.
The Ngumeni Indigenous Forest is my favorite section on stage 1 of the KAP sani2c. I've got amazing memories of racing through here in the early days, 2007, 2008. It was absolutely lightning quick, but now I'm a Bali and I get to look at the view and look out for the African parrot that lives in this incredible forest. This is an absolute gem.
A place of stillness and shade, of roots and rhythm beneath the trees. This indigenous forest, old, sacred and alive, for many is the highlight of stage 1. It's a cool green cathedral that echoes the sounds of bikes and nature. As the forest begins to thin, the final stretch opens up before you. A mix of fast descents, rolling forestry roads and flowing single track spills riders out into the wide, welcoming arms of Mackenzie Club. Here, the day ends not just with a finish line, but with the warm welcome of the community that calls this place home.
Safe and sound at Mackenzie Country Club. Day 1, KAP sani2c 2025 in the bag. Some very relieved riders. Exhilarating day, but now time to relax. We made it. Rad.
Tents line the race village field. A marquee glows in the golden light, and the last sun of the day dips behind the trees. The riding may be done, but around the dinner table, the stories are just getting started.
We're ready for one of the world's most incredible mountain bike stages. Day 2 of the KAP sani2c, the mighty Umko drop, Steve Sprate, and iconic away. Thank you, Linford, for an incredible hospitality. Let's do this.
Day 2 begins with pace and promise. The first gravel road out of Mackenzie Club lulls the legs into rhythm, but it's a false sense of ease. Trail workers wave the riders through, school kids clap from the verge, and then the land opens up, wide, raw, and waiting. This is the Umko drop, a descent so vast it defies explanation. Cliffs, grasslands, and riverbeds, and deep below, a story worth stopping for. It's easy to miss what really happens here. Every year, riders blaze past this stretch, caught in the flow, focused on the trail. But just a few meters off the route, Msiana Primary stands quietly at the heart of something bigger. Supported by the event, this school is part of the event's long-standing food and education program. Breakfast before class, a space to learn, and a reason to believe that the trail doesn't just pass through, it gives back. Leaving the school behind, the trail settles into the valley floor, a gentle roll through the wild heart of the Umkomaas. Here the terrain shifts from mistveld to bushveld, from forest to grasslands, from towering trees to open golden space. It's fast, it's flowing, and up ahead, the first chance to catch your breath.
Formula 1 pit stop style service from the Maritzburg College boys. Thanks, dudes.
Refueled and recharged, the riders dive into one of the most crafted sections on the route, Steve Sprate.
Farmer Glen, Sibongile community team created an incredible track. I haven't seen it running this fast and this good in all my times along this magnificent path.
This is what shared ownership looks like. Community-built trails carried forward by every wheel that rides them. And then comes the climb, Unitrans Iconic. It's not just a name, it's a benchmark. A brutal stretch of earth that asks more than most can give. Some ride it, most don't. But every rider earns their place at the top. This isn't about style points, it's about grit and the will to keep going.
The real heroes are the buffaloes, not skinny oaks like me.
Out the back of Iconic, the trail turns playful, twisting through pine, dancing between trees, sneaking in a few more climbs just to keep you honest. And then the trail delivers you to something quieter, a place where progress looks different. King's Harvest Academy stands as proof of what's possible, when belief becomes investment and investment becomes impact. Supported by the sani2c Community Development Trust, this school has grown into a home for more than 300 learners. Education, food, structure, all made possible by the riders who pass this way. The final stretch is a 4-kilometer sidewalk, Once a dangerous shoulder, now a safe passage. Built with community in mind, the Unitrans Mile serves riders for one day, but the locals every other day of the year. The trail ends at Jollibet Farm, a race village alive with recovery and reward. Bikes find their way to the bike wash, riders to cold drinks and camping chairs, and the smell of wood smoke and bright steaks drift through the air. It's the kind of finish line only the sani2c could create, where the day's effort is met with care and the community is waiting to welcome you.
A lot of tired but very satisfied riders ahead of stage 3 of the KAP sani2c. We've got a fast stage today. My highlights are in Tagadi Bush and Vernon Crooks. Always look forward to that out of Africa experience.
The final day begins in golden light. Riders move quickly now. Through sugarcane fields, over fast forest roads, the pace is lifted by the pull of the coast. The soil shifts beneath them. From rich loam to fast-rolling gravel, the rugged contours of the Amkamas give way to rolling hills planted in lines of gun.
The Dumisa Farmers Association Water Point, lubing the joints with some oil. We've got the boys have got the bacon on the grill, and it's what we come for, folks.
The trail threads its way towards something rare. Beyond the plantations and fields, a wild pocket of land opens up. The Vernon Crooks Nature Reserve. Indigenous bush gives way to long, open ridgelines dotted with wildlife and silence. It's a pause in the rhythm, an oasis of natural beauty that reminds us why this ride is unlike any other.
The high-speed in Tagati Indigenous Bush Tunnel, one of my favorite high-speed sections of the KAP sani2c. So rare to be in this natural environment, soaking it up. This is what it's all about.
The trail stretches along coastal contours, winding through the final water point before lifting its head to offer one last view. And there it is, the shimmer of the Indian Ocean, the moment every rider has imagined since the start at Glen Ken.
We've made it, folks, the Indian Ocean. What a sight, seeing the rollers coming in, onwards to the golf club. Woo, tailwind up the fairway. Thank you, KAP, thank you, sani2c. From the Drakensberg to the Indian Ocean, that's one hell of a journey. Bucket list stuff, folks.
Riders lift their heads, grit gives way to smiles, and the final climb rolls up towards the finish at Scottborough Golf Club. There's no podium here, just family waiting with open arms, cold beers shared under the sun, and Farmer Glenn at the line, greeting every last rider with a handshake and a word of welcome. 3 days, 265 kilometers, and one unforgettable journey, the mountains to the sea, from effort to elation. What started as one farmer's idea has become something far greater, a ride that lifts communities, carries stories, and keeps evolving year after year. For a decade now, KAP has helped fuel that momentum, not by changing the ride, but by deepening its impact. And none of it happens without the riders, the thousands who show up, who ride with purpose, and who keep the heart of the sani2c beating strong. Here's to what's been built, and to everything that's still to come.